So, Eric Hasseltine's the greatest ever. He's the voice of the Grizzlies. This guy, I mean, honestly, dude,
What's
I
up?
go to my front door one day
Yep.
and this box from you and Ja and these puppies, I
Yeah,
mean to
buddy.
tell you, listen, these are the coolest shoes I have ever seen in my life. They're so effing nice. I won't even wear them yet. I gotta wait. I need like 6 months to a year to put them on because I don't want to ruin them. Like I have never seen shoes cooler, to my daughter, inspire the doubters, the process, the
Yep.
followers, I mean, it goes to everyone who is and will be with me since day one on the bottom of the shoe. This is so badass. Now, I had the ones, I told you that. And then I told you how much I loved them and how much of a fan I am of yours and his. And that he's like one of my favorite players in the entire league. And I'm a huge, gigantic fan of his. And then I get this box with just nothing on it. It just said Ja. And I almost had a stroke when these came
See?
to my house. They are so nice. Honestly, I want to make love to them. I mean, honestly, Eric,
Yeah. I,
honestly,
you
you're
know,
the
I,
coolest dude ever.
you
You're
know,
the
I had
coolest
some
dude
help.
ever. That's the
I had
nicest
some
thing
help.
anyone's ever done for me ever in my life.
Well, I think the message on the box from the post office said it. Get buckets, man. Get buckets with those things. So, no,
Believe
I
me,
got to
I wear
thank
the other ones all the time. I wear them. I wear them in the street. I wear them to the gym. I still wear them to shoot at hoops. On days I don't play, I wear them in the gym to shoot. I always shoot no matter what for like a
sure. Yeah.
mile, and I'll wear them no matter what. I just love them. I have the ones. Now I got the twos. I literally when I got them, I ran around my house naked.
Well, at least you didn't pee on the floor like the guy at the Brewers
I
game.
did
So that was a
not
good
do
thing.
that.
I'm glad your wife didn't let you do that. So
I did not
no,
do that.
I gotta give credit to our equipment guy, Corey McCain. When I told him you said that, I said let's hook him up. He said we got him. So it wasn't just me. There was
Thank
more in the
you.
process. But yeah,
Thank you.
Corey's the
Thank
best
you.
and treats us well. And I'm glad you like him, brother, because we appreciate the support and I appreciate our friendship. So it's the least I can do.
Listen, thank you a million times over. It's just a incredible dude, and an incredible friend, an incredible guy, and it was just such a nice thing to do. I hope you got my messages and
I did.
tweets and texts, and I didn't know what to do. Like it was just such an overwhelming thing for me. I never thought it would like happen. I just was joking. Next thing you know, you did it, and I just thought it was really cool. And let me ask you now. Not let's talk about more serious matters. They've been
Sure.
unraveling like
Yeah.
a spleef. Honestly, they've lost 6 of 7.
Yeah.
They're playing tonight against a team that's playing good ball. You
Yeah.
got your hands full. What has happened? They fired the coach. What is happening off Beale Street?
Well, they went into the break 36-18. They were right at the top of the West, obviously behind Oklahoma City, who everybody's looking up at, but came out and have not played particularly well since, especially on the defensive end of the floor. Too many 35, 36, 40-point quarters and giving up big runs that you don't have answers for. It was just there was just a lot of disconnected play on the court at times. The defense has been struggling with overcommitting to help from the wings, giving up an extra pass for wide open threes, and trying to figure things out. And sometimes as we know, things happen in pro sports and teams hit ruts, and this is one of those times for this team. And it's been really something that's uncommon to this group. I think you take last year and throw it out because of the injuries, because of the guys that were out, and you were playing with essentially 47 different players. We were handing out hello, my name is tags when we got on road trips because there was always 3 or 4 new guys on 10-day contracts. So, but the years they were healthy, they were a playoff team. And so this type of struggle was very new to them. And it just seemed like there was just too many times that they weren't on the same page. And at some point, the front office has to make the decision. Is this going to continue? Are we going to ride this out? Or is it time to make a change? It's a very unprecedented time to make a change this late in the season, but they have a guy in the background that maybe they want to take a look at before the offseason and decide whether he's their next guy or not. I can't answer that because, again, I always go to the AMPG, above my pay grade, and that's what those guys get paid
Right.
to do, and they have to live with the decisions. But there's a lot of criticism for moves that were made at the deadline where they didn't get this or didn't get that. The bottom line is the 5 guys on the floor, when they don't look like they're playing for the guy next to them, that's a problem. And Ja was in and out of the lineup. And so, I just think that there was a lot of things that were weighing down this team, and they just felt like it was time to press a button or two to see if they could spark, some late, cohesion to go into the playoffs. If not, if you go into the playoffs like this, it's going to be a problem. I mean, Scotty, they didn't win a game in the state of
Right.
California. Every road game, Clippers, Lakers, Kings, Warriors, they didn't win there. They haven't beaten the Thunder. They beat the Boston Celtics once. And in my
Right.
opinion, on that night, they played well, but Boston was 18 of 60 from three. I mean, they shot 30%. If they make their normal percentage, they win that game. So they've got to get better defensively. That's something they always hung their hat on, but it just hasn't been there as cleanly this year as it has
Right.
in years
What
past.
about so they got whacked last night, and I mean
Hmm.
I thought Ja played well.
Sure.
We've seen Bain snap on his teammate Aldama, and Aldama played well last night. I thought off of the bench, but I don't think that's Bain's issue with him. Now tonight you got the Dubs in, and they're a problem too.
Yeah, they're playing great basketball. Since the Butler trade, 18-5, have guys that do things that give the Grizzlies problems, and it's going to be interesting to see what the Warriors come out and do defensively. I would imagine because everybody's doing it now since the offense has been circulated through a couple of matchups. There's a lot of 3-2 shell zone, take away the wing and top arc three, recover to the corners and say, all right, if you're going to flash the middle with a baseline cut or a diagonal cut from the corner, then go for it and beat us that way. But they're not going to let Luke Kennard get open looks because he's too good a shooter. Desmond Bain, same type thing. They're coming over every screen and just taking away that space. The Warriors will be uber aggressive. They're playing terrific. They hung a big number on San Antonio. Steph is back in the lineup. And listen, these two teams don't have a lot of love lost for each other. They played in the playoffs.
Right.
Draymond Green has said things about this team, and he was very complimentary. As much as people may hate Draymond Green's antics on the court, I will always give the guy this. He is a basketball, savant. He learns the game. He teaches the game. They're blowing out San Antonio. He's pulling guys in there that are off the bench getting
Hold
minutes.
that
And
thought, Eric. Don't go anywhere. I still want to talk to you for a couple more minutes about this. Don't go anywhere. We got my boy Eric Hasseltine on from the Grizzlies, and he's getting ready to call that Dubs Grizzlies game tonight at the FedEx. I have to tell you, I'm concerned about my Grizzlies because,
yes,
um, you know, they're in a really dicey spot right about now in that five with two teams hovering a game back that are about to pounce on their ass. And I can
mhm.
just, the way they've been playing, it smells to me like they'll be lucky. I think they'll play in game at worst, but I think they'd be real lucky if they hold on to the 5 or 6 because I think it's slipping through their fingers. Am I tripping?
No, you're not. They got to be better defensively, and tonight's not an easy challenge. They give up a lot of open threes, and if Steph Curry gets open threes, it's going to be a long night on the defensive end. So hopefully they can find that cohesion that they've had at times. But they've done the right things when good teams do beat the bad teams, but they have not been as competitive against the higher end teams as people would like by any stretch of the imagination.
So they got to go later in the week to the Kaseya, which is nice for you. I love
Yeah.
always.
You don't think I'm looking forward to that flight tomorrow, brother? You know I am.
I know you are. But then that's a tough game in Detroit. I
Yep.
think that team is legit. I think they'll lose in the playoffs, but I think they've had a hell of a turnaround. And then
Hmm.
you go to the Spectrum in Charlotte, which I think you guys can handle. We were talking about it earlier. What do you think if that team got their hands on Cooper Flag? What would happen to that franchise in Charlotte? Because
Yeah.
they're in one of those 3 spots with the most ping pong
Hmm.
balls. You got these 3 road games. None of them are going to be easy. I think Charlotte might be the one that you can get done for sure.
You got to get at least one, if not two. And you're right. Detroit's had a massive turnaround. I'm a big fan of JB Bickerstaff. He was here with us for a while. Love the guy. Super happy for him. Just go ahead and look at that last 3 games for the Grizzlies there, my friend, because it's an
That's
8:30
brutal.
tip. It's an 8:30 tip at home against Minnesota. Just a quick little puddle jump over to Denver, which, if you've been to the airport, it's not near downtown. So, a 4
Brutal.
a.m. arrival. And Denver's not playing Thursday night. So the Grizzlies catch them second night of a back-to-back, long night of travel. Denver's rested. Then you got to turn around and come back home Saturday and have an afternoon game with Dallas, who may be fighting for that play-in spot. So when the schedule came out, I said, if you're not locked into something by those last 3 games, bless your hearts, boys, but you're going to have to fight, and it's going to be tough. So I think there's a lot of pressure on tonight. I think there's a lot of pressure on the Miami game. You let it all roll against Detroit and go compete and see what happens. They're good at home. You got to beat Charlotte because they don't have LaMelo Ball. They're out of the playoff picture. And then you better get one of the ones against Denver or Minnesota if you want to hang on to a top 6 spot, in my opinion. Now, if they don't, is it the end of the world? No, but there's going to be a lot of questions. You still have 2 chances to get into a playoff series. But, worst case scenario, you lose the 7-8 game if you're in the play-in. You win the next game, and you get to draw Oklahoma City, who has beaten them. So it's a tough road, no doubt.
So I just want to ask you, like when Bane and he got into it, and then when it was over and it had blown over, what was the fallout in the room and moving forward? Because this other dude is like, listen, bro, mind your own business,
Yeah.
and I saw the whole thing play out. I was watching. What has happened since then? And then Ja's like, I'm hearing that he's like, I'm not listening to this guy with his crappy offense. Are they all like splintering the teammates? Are they splintering, or can they save it and ball and just quit being peas? I mean, honestly, at some point you're like, bro, stop being a pea. Let's go ball.
I think they can do that. They've done it before. I think it had to happen. You've been on teams where you have guys get in each other's face. You're holding each other accountable. I didn't have a problem with it. I saw the 2 of them the next day in the weight room together at the team hotel. Didn't appear to be a problem. I wasn't worried they were going to pick up a 10-pound dumbbell and hit each other.
Mafia would have hit me with a dumbbell in the hotel health club. He would have hit me with a big old 10-pounder.
Yep, no doubt about it. But I think they can, and if they do, they can be good. If the ball flows in this offense, they get a lot of open looks. But it's also, like I said, man, it's got to start on the defensive end, got to play both ends of the floor, because if not, you're pressing on the offensive end, and all the characteristics of what makes it successful go out the window.
Listen, I'm pulling for you. I know this game tonight. I'm glad it's not on TV tonight, the way they've been playing. I'm glad you're just calling the game. Have fun in Miami. I hope you win, because I think they kind of have had. I think Jimmy Butler ruined that team. I think they're another one. They had a bloodletting. Hey, Eric, again, my love. Thank you so much for the Jaws. You're the best. Tell my guy in the equipment room thank you. I love the Grizzlies. Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother. Be well.